Hi, welcome back for the second video on how to make pizzas. Today we're going to actually roll out the dough, make pizzas, and we're going to use our Breville pizza ovens. This video series is really dedicated to making pizzas in this particular oven. That's why we have 7 balls of dough from the first recipe, because they fit this exactly. And you'll also need your pizza peel to get the pizza in and out of the oven. We're going to make several different styles of pizzas today. We're going to do some standard traditional pizzas. We're also going to make some barbecue chicken. Get your ovens nice and hot. As soon as you start, get this going. The oven needs to be piping hot when you start, so it takes a good 10 to 15 minutes to preheat. I use my laser thermometer to check, and it's right now at 664 degrees, which is awesome. That's right where you want it when you're going to make pizza. You can't reproduce this in your oven at home. It just doesn't get that hot, and it also doesn't create a heat envelope. Additionally, while we're cooking this, you don't want to continue to open and close this, checking on your pizza. Every time you open that oven, you lose your heat envelope around the pizza, and it changes the cook time, and it also changes the surface temperature of your pizza repeatedly, and so it just won't melt down and be reproducible. So that's what we're trying to achieve with this whole recipe process, is a delicious pizza that's reproducible if you have company over or you want to continue to make it. So let's get started. The second ingredient that I really promote is Don Pepino pizza sauce. I've tasted everything that I can commercially buy where I'm located, and I've ordered some things online. This is something I found online as a recommended pizza sauce by pizzerias, and it is commercially available here in town at an Italian grocery store. However, you can order it on Amazon, and it's not expensive. It's just a generic good pizza sauce that tastes like what you grew up with. I like to use a combo of Romano and Parmesan cheese onto my pizza right before it goes in. I put both of those in a little shaker that I get ready ahead of time. You can also find prepackaged meatballs that are already cooked and ready to go. When you have meat that's pre-cooked like that, it's great that it doesn't come down on the pizza and make the pizza too watery. Lastly, I usually degrease my pepperoni in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Gets all the fat out. I cook it with a paper towel on top and bottom, and you can see that that's nicely degreased. All right, let's get started cooking. Lastly, we've got for the barbecue chicken, we're going to use this rotisserie chicken that you can buy for $5 at the store. I shred that, piece of cake ready to go. You'll see on the bottom of the dough, you can see some air pockets that it's made as it's been fermenting. And this is day 3. Nice. All right, so we'll put a little flour on the countertop here. It's nice if you have a little counter space to do this on. Do it on the table or whatever, but it's nice if you have a little open spot. We've got a little plate of flour here. Some people just have more flour and do this on the countertop. I find it's a little easier just to have it on the side. Dough comes out of the Tupperware, goes right into this flour here. Flip it over and press it down a couple of times. All right, so there's your dough. You're going to use the pads of your fingers, not the fingertips, but pressing flat down, and you're going to make a rim all the way around the edge of this dough. Additionally, we're not going to push down the middle part of the dough and degas the central part, but we'll continue to use fingertips around the edge and just push it out. And flip that over and do the same thing on the other side. This is a little more difficult with the small ball of dough like we're using here for these smaller ovens. And we'll leave the central portion and not degas that. Then I'm going to do a little spread technique, spread and spin the dough. Again, kind of trying to maintain that outer rim. It does get squashed down just a little bit as you go and stretch this out, but it does leave a little bit extra thickness there so your crust will rise. There's some nice videos on YouTube for this, and we'll just let that kind of hang over your knuckles here, and then just kind of work your way around the edge, just stretching out just a little bit. This dough is right out of the refrigerator and it's cold, I find that the dough that's cold is a little easier to work with. It tends to blister and bubble up a little bit more, but I think it's just easier to work with. So you can see that it's getting a little bit bigger and bigger. The other thing is that this dough will tend to recoil a little bit when you lay it down flat. Alright, we'll get a pizza peel here. Get a little flour on the pizza peel. Rub that all around. Alright, so we've got our crust ready to go here. We'll put that right on the pizza peel. And then just feel free to stretch it out, get it nice and round. Your pizzas may not initially be round and perfect like that. They'll still taste good. Just stick with it and they'll eventually come. You want your crust to slide nicely on this peel that way, and you want to keep checking that every so often that it's actually sliding around. We're going to use a little less than 1/3 cup of sauce on the pizza. And then I use this flat bottomed measuring spoon. It's what I've become comfortable with. Most places use a ladle. But I've become comfortable with this, just what I started using when I first started making pizza. Okay, so here we are at the pizza ovens. Both are hot. They've been on preheat for quite a while now. They're ready to go. The preheating light is out. Just to show you, if we check the temperature here, we're at 640, 630s, which is awesome. We try to keep that heat envelope on the pizza while it's cooking. Here's the fully topped Hawaiian pizza I'm making this go. Again, you want to get that sliding on the pizza peel a little bit so that it'll slide right off onto the oven, and then get it closed. We'll let that cook. It takes about 5 minutes. Try not to continually open and close this so that you maintain your heat envelope. Additionally, I'll turn that down to the first notch on thin while that's cooking to just keep that top burner from continuing to fire on and keep it at total high. So I'll put it down to the thin mark, let that cook, and then I monitor the pizza through the window here. And sometimes you need to use a little flashlight to do that, and you can look inside with a little flashlight and see everything going on, which is great. But try not to continually open it and check on it. You'll lose your heat envelope, and it won't cook correctly. See you in 5. Okay, I think it's ready. We'll open it up. Yep, we got some nice blisters going on the crust. It's not overcooked. Okay, so looking in the window there, we got some good blistered crust. The cheese is actually boiling and bubbling, which is exactly what you want. See how that's kind of separated? The pepperoni's turning brown in certain areas, and the crust itself is getting some nice brown blisters on it. So at this point, I am going to go ahead and open it up and take a peek inside, and we'll see what it looks like if it's ready. I'm going to take it out with the pizza peel if it's ready. All right, and that looks awesome. There it is. So there's the pizza. You can see that there's some nice fisheye bubbles in the center with the cheese melting. Pepperoni's nice, it's not too greasy, and we've got a nice blistered crust all the way around. Don't worry about these little black things, that's the way it's supposed to be done. Okay? Beautiful.